What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another fly tying tutorial. Today we're going to be tying up this little Psycho Surveyor. It's kind of a mix between Lance Egan's Tungsten Surveyor and a Psycho Prince Nymph. So I'm going to get a fresh hook in the vise and we'll get going with this tutorial. So the hook we have in the vise right now is our Fly Fiend 350N Nymph hook. This is a size 12 and I have that paired up with a Fly Fiend 3mm slotted tungsten bead in silver. The thread we're going to be using is just some red UTC semi-denier, and I'm going to start this thread right behind this bead, making sure that it is offset, pointed up. Now I'm just going to make some wraps down this body. Then I'm going to stop my thread right where the hook bar would be. For our tail, we're going to be using some Goose Biots. These right here are in tan, and I'm going to tie these in one at a time here. And ideally you want your tails to be about the length of your body, not the whole shank, just from the back of the bead until where you're tying that in. So I'm tying these in a little bit different. I would usually tie these in splaying away from each other. And I seen this guy on Instagram. I can't forget I can't remember his name right now, but he ties his flies like this, so they're almost laying on top of each other, like a crisscross, as you would a Prince Nymph at the top, the wing part. And I really like the way it looks, so I've been kind of playing around with it, and I just kind of enjoy it a little bit more. It is kind of tricky to tie them in at first, but once you get them tied in, I like the way it looks. So next material we're tying in is our rib, and we're gonna have two ribs on this fly. The first one is going to be some Flashabou, and this is just this is actually a lateral scale that I use for streamers, but I use it for ribbing as well. And this is the small size. So I'm just going to grab one strand here and tie that in the side of the shank facing towards me. And our second rib is going to be some just 6X Tippet. This right here is Dairiki. Doesn't really matter the brand as long as it's just some 6X Tippet. And I'm going to put this on the opposite side. So I'm just going to get this nice and secured here. Just like so. So I got my one's going to be a rib and the other one's going to be a counter rib. So this is my 6X, this is my Flashabou, so they come right off the back. And for the body of this fly, we're just going to be using some light shade rainbow Scud dub. This is pretty much the equivalent to the sow bug dubbing. I think they just changed the name of it, but it's RSD1 if you're looking for the code for Hareline. And this stuff's pretty, it's pretty coarse. It's almost like a wiry type material, but you can dub it pretty tight. I've yet to use the Wapsi. I've only tried this, and it's alright. I heard the Wapsi's better, so if I can get my hands on some of that, I will definitely pick it up and try it out. But for the meantime, this Hareline stuff's working pretty good. So I'm going to dub a nice slender body here. I want it to be really tight and have a little bit of a taper to it. So I'm kind of doing it a little bit slower than I would, just because I want it to be perfect. I don't want too much of this dubbing bunched up. So I'm trying to make this as thin as possible as well, so I can cut through the water a little bit nicer. Just like so. Now you can grab your flash rib and just make some nice open spiral wraps up through this dubbing body. And 3's pretty good, 3 or 4 wraps. It's pretty normal. Now I'm going to grab my 6X here, and I'm just going to come underneath the fly. Oops. This way. I'm just going to counter rib this body. And what that's going to do is going to hold in that flash, as well as help so it doesn't tear out, and it just makes that body that more slender. So I'm just kind of cleaning up all these little fibers. Come on, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna tie in our, you can call them legs. It's usually under the wing of the prince nymph, but in this case we're gonna be tying them on the side. So you can see the natural curvature to these, and I'm just going to be facing those out. And I'm only going to make these as long as the body. So I'm going to tie both these in. You can kind of adjust where you want them. So you can see there that they're both splaying away from the body. Now I'm just going to come with my scissors and cut these Biot butts out. Now for the wing part, we're just going to be using some Antron. This is red. This says 310 red. And I don't know the brand, it just says Antron yarn. So you can do all kinds of different color hot spots. You can do the pink and chartreuse. But I'm just going to do red to keep the whole kind of theme going here. So I'm just going to cut that off nice and square. I'm going to tie this right on top. Make sure it's nice and straight. And you don't need to fold this over or anything like that. This is just one strand of this Antron. Now I'm just going to pull back that and cut out that part. I'm just going to cut this at a rough length right now. Now for a collar part, for a thorax, we're just going to be using the same rainbow Scud dub. As you can see, one's darker. This is the light, and this is the dark, and this is the RSD2. So I'm just going to get a little bit here, don't need much. And for a thorax collar part, I'm going to be using the dark. So this adds a little bit more contrast to the fly. You can definitely use the light shade all the way up, but I really like the this dark part. Just breaks it up a bit, adds a little bit more to the fly. So we're just going to put a little thorax in there. Now we can kind of just clean up all these stray fibers. Then you can grab your whip finish tool and just do a 4 or 5 turn whip finish. Build up that collar a bit. Just like that. Make sure it's nice and seated and tight in there. Then you can cut that out. Kind of trim up all these little fibers here. And for our wing part, I'm just going to go to the back of the body. So that's pretty much a good length, good measurement key there to go by. This is the back of the body. So there you go. Cool little fly to tie up. Like I said, you can change up a bunch of the colors and the dubbing, but I really like this color combo, and it's proven to catch fish. So I thought I'd throw this little twist in it. So I hope you liked today's video, guys. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about the fly or any of the materials, you can leave a question down in the comment section. If you want to see the recipe to this fly, you can check that out in the description. If you want to check out our website, I'll leave that in the description as well. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Thanks a lot again for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.